as a veteran, we tend to isolate.
Yes, it breaks you down and they rebuild you into this elite soldier.
I just remember the explosion and the concussion, and it took my breath away. Because when I came out of the service, I essentially had to start over. I had no wife, no more kids.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 3 of Barbaric Culture Presents Who's in the Chair. Today I have a good friend of mine, Rick Cardona, and I want him to introduce himself and let him know who he is, what he does, and why he does it.
Absolutely.
Rick, thank you for being here today, sir.
Thanks for having me. So, as Lewis said, I'm Rick Cardona, 43, Army combat veteran. It's been a journey, and I'm just ready to cover anything and everything about my story.
That's awesome.
Hopefully to maybe inspire or help somebody heal from their past and draw inspiration or maybe some lessons. What I do, like I said, I'm a veteran. I serve in my church.
Oh, big deal. Which is where we met, by the way.
Yes, Lake Mary Church. I met Lewis.
Do you remember that story? Do you remember the exact moment?
Vaguely.
I do.
Vaguely.
Yeah? I'll tell the story.
Go ahead.
So we were both serving at church. You were serving on the security team.
Yes.
I got there later in the evening because I was service hosting. And as a service host, what you do is you open up the service for worship. So when everybody gets there, everybody's sitting down, they have a countdown, and you go up on the platform and you welcome everyone to service. You read some scripture, kind of like welcoming the Spirit of God, and you do a quick prayer, and then the worship team takes over and starts singing, and everybody starts singing and dancing and worshiping. So our church has 4 services, and when you do service host, you have to be there for the first 3 services throughout the morning, and then you come back in the afternoon at 5:30. So I think this was the first time I was service hosting, and I was very nervous.
I believe so.
So I got there really early before the 5:30. We have a 8:30, 10:30, 12:30, and a 5:30 service. And I got there about 4 o'clock for the 5:30 service, and there was nobody there except the security team. They were huddling up, and I was in the lobby of the 600 building.
Yeah.
And I met Crystal, and Crystal introduced you, and then you and I started talking about being veterans.
Yes.
And that's where the conversation just kind of took over.
Yeah.
Like, where'd you serve? Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
That was the exact moment I met you. And then I found out my man's been at the church since way before I was. So how long have you been going to church?
Since 2015, I've been at Lake Mary Church. I'd like to say consistently, but I'd be lying.
Yeah.
As a veteran, we tend to isolate. So
Yeah, that's such a true statement. I know it.
I would go into these little bouts of isolation, just withdrawing from the community and everybody around me. And of course,
What does that look like? What does isolation look like?
just feeling like you're not good enough to be around those that are around you in church or wherever you might be, finding yourself. But just kind of pulling back. And at first it was just to observe, but then you just get stuck in that little season, right? So, of course, my family follows me. So we would all be isolating.
You're the lead, right?
Not going to church.
The word clearly says that the man is the head of the house.
Yes, absolutely true.
And wherever the head goes, the body follows.
That's right.
Wow. It's so interesting you say that because when I got out the service, my wife, when I came home from boot camp, my wife, now boot camp is what? 4 weeks? No, 8 weeks? 8 to 12, depending on the service?
Depending on service and
Right? So I think it was 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks for the Navy. And I come home from boot camp. From boot camp, I go to my A school and I get certified to do my job. And then I come home for a week or 2 before I go to my duty station.
Sure.
And in that 8 to 10 weeks of boot camp, when I came back home, my wife was my girlfriend at the time, and she had got to get together. She had to get together with some of our closest friends from high school, and I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I had nothing to talk to them about because
So true.
they couldn't relate to anything that I just seen.
Yes.
You know, we just graduated high school. It's a you go through some extreme training that removes the old version of you.
Absolutely.
And
I like
and
to say breaks down.
yes, it breaks you down and they rebuild you into this elite soldier that follows direction, follows orders, pays attention to detail, and that's just in 8 to 10 weeks.
Very true.
So I can't imagine doing how many years?
So I did altogether. It was 8 years. But my boot camp was, I did the initial, but they wrapped it all in one.
What does that mean?
So I did what's called OSUT. It's a one station unit training. So I literally went from basic training right into my specialty job. So basically I think it was like 16, 17 weeks of basic training.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was your specialty job?
So I was a M1 Abrams battle tank.
Bro, you got to speak English.
Okay.
What is A1 Abrams?
So it's the tank that the Army uses.
Okay.
The Marines.
Tank like you see in the video games with the chain wheels and
tracks,
and the cannon that moves.
120 millimeter cannon. Yeah, it's 4 guys inside learning to operate as the machine.
How big is that? Is it big? Is it as big as the space?
I would say
you're not living in luxury.
The length of inside the tank?
Inside.
No, I would consider it like
a bathroom,
a small type bathroom that fits 4 guys, essentially 3 inside, and then there's 1 kind of laying down in the driving position. But as you drive the tank, it's like a dirt bike,
like Batman in the Batmobile, not the Batmobile, the motorcycle, and he's
yes.
And in the Bat Tank and the Dark Knight Rises and all of those, he's kind of laying in there.
So you're not laying forward. You're kind of in a recliner position.
Oh.
So you use like periscopes to see out, or you rely on your tank commander to give you directions. Hey, faster, slower, left, right. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
I can't imagine being in that tight quarters when the adrenaline is rushing and there's like
it's pretty gnarly.
You're giving commands that are life or death.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you've seen some of that.
Yeah.
We won't get into that yet. I'll let you, we'll get to the chair before we get
the story unfold.
We'll get to the chair
for sure.
And I'll let you unload that because that'll be a long intro.
Sure.
So let's talk more about us and our relationship.
Okay.
So now,
so we met in the church.
Yes.
But come to find out, I had kind of already met you in college, where we both went to college. You were in the barber program. I was in criminal justice. So it was just in passing. So when I saw you, I was like, there's something familiar about this guy.
No way.
And I couldn't place it until you said where you went to college. And I was like, I went to college with you, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is such a fun fact. I don't think I've known that until just right now.
Yeah. So Cole, another veteran at our church.
Mutual friend. He just got baptized yesterday, by the way.
Yes. He goes to my veteran / first responders life group that I lead with highway patrolmen. So
veterans, first responders.
Yep.
Firefighter, paramedics, and things like that.
Yeah. Anything in the first responder field. And then any branch military, we cater to just that genre, and we give them the word of God, lead them to salvation. Obviously, Cole got baptized.
Yes,
so that's a win for God. Praise Him.
Yes.
But yeah, he kind of connected the dots, and he's like, "Yeah, Lewis, he went to our school," and I was like,
we probably were in the same program because when I first started going to college there. At Florida Technical College in the land.
Yes.
They did not have the barbering program right away.
Okay.
What happened is...
Were you in business?
I did criminal justice because I went to school because I wanted to be a guide for someone that I did not have.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So I wanted to be a barber because I love to cut hair. that's something I did on the side. I learned how to do it in the service on other people. I've been cutting my own hair since I was 13. So long story short, they didn't have the barbering program at the time. So I kind of had a moment where I was kind of, praying about it. Like, Lord, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And I remember that I got in trouble with the law multiple times. So I was like, maybe I could be a correction officer or probation officer for juveniles.
Yeah.
And I could be that guide for them there.
Nice.
And so I did 3 months of the criminal justice program.
So we might have met in the program.
Yeah, we might have had a class together.
That's crazy. I had no clue.
And then they opened up the barbering program, and it was a no-brainer. I transferred. I had a moment with God where I was like, Lord, what do I do? Like, I already started this. So when you are in the criminal justice field and you want to mentor somebody, my understanding at the time was, as a correctional officer or probation officer, you're going to be confronted with that person for however long they're in trouble.
Yes.
And then there's no more communication after that.
Absolutely.
Because you cannot make it personal with your work.
Right.
But as a barber, I'm there with that person from young until they're adults, if I'm good enough, right?
Yes.
And then they're going to bring me their children and their children's children, and this is going to be a generational thing.
That's right.
So how much more influential would I be as a barber versus a correction officer?
That's so good. That's really good.
And that's how I got here.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So did you finish your degree program or no?
I did. So I went for my associates. Essentially, it was like I needed to get into something. You can't get out of the military a battle tank driver loader and think that there's a job waiting for you in the civilian world.
What are you going to do out here?
Yeah, there's not tanks on
You
the
drive
road.
fire trucks.
I could, yeah, they tried to tell me I could drive some kind of vehicle for the police force, and I was just like, okay. So
Maybe some kind of SWAT vehicle or something.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in, and they were selling you'll get paid while you go to school. So it was
With the GI Bill?
right, because when I came out of the service, I essentially had to start over. I had no wife, no more kids. Like, we kind of split, just from infidelity on her part, and it was either go to PA and try and chase her.
Is that where you joined from?
I joined out of Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Okay.
I grew up in Florida, met her in Tampa, and then we moved up to the Northeast to PA.
Okay.
Working dead end jobs, McDonald's. I'm like almost 30 years old. I'm working at McDonald's, and I just got tired of it. There wasn't really in the town. It was a coal mining town, so there's not much there.
Yes, there wasn't much going on. The coal mining's over, isn't it?
So it was either go back to the streets and hustle and potentially get arrested, go away for a long time, or chase this dream that I have had since I was a little boy. And
Watching Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, or what?
So my grandfather was in the army out of Puerto Rico. He served in the Korean War.
Yes.
He was with
a lot of Puerto Ricans joined the army.
Yeah. So he was with the famous unit from out of Puerto Rico that was in the Korean War. My dad was Army Ranger.
Wow.
And he did a couple deployments. He was in Panama, Just Cause, Desert Storm.
Wow.
When he went to the National Guard, he deployed down to Hurricane Andrew when Miami was just decimated. So he spent it was 8 months he was gone down there.
Yes. And this is in the National Guard, Reserves?
He was in the National Guard, but he was in the regular Army too.
Okay.
So, and just watching them operate and see who they were as men, it wasn't all, rainbows and unicorns, because Puerto Rican military background, it's like, you're getting the business.
Yes. So, they're hard.
I wanted it.
Yes.
I wanted to be just like them. And I had graduated high school out of Deltona. I went to Pine Ridge High School, graduated 2000, 18 years old. Like, I'm going to go to the service. But growing up, I was always the heavy kid. And I
can relate, my friend. So was I.
I could not shed the weight for anything.
Yeah.
And I just remember just picking up just little dead end job. I think the best job I had was at the Sanford Airport. I was guiding planes in and doing baggage, and that was it. But I literally had to give everything up to God, who I didn't have a relationship with. And it wasn't until...
You took a leap of faith there.
Yeah. Well, I found myself in PA, dead end jobs. It's either the streets and prison or jail, or I'm going to give it everything I have and try and shed the weight that I need to join the military. Initially, I tried to get into the Marines.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Oh, you're 7 pounds too heavy." And I looked at him. I said, "Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Like 7 pounds? I'll shed that signing your form." Like, come on! Before I get to basic,
That's how they are. If they don't want you, they'll find a way to nitpick and.
They told me go try the Army.
Yeah.
So I walked down the hall, met with the recruiter. He said, "If you're serious, we'll work with you." Gave me a membership to the local YMCA.
Mm-hmm.
And for a couple months, man, I did nothing but eat right, exercise. I had no vehicle, so I was walking
everywhere.
A mile to work, downhill, a mile home, uphill.
Yeah.
In the snow, you name it. I was walking.
Yeah, you do what you have to do.
I'm carrying bags, because I had a kid at the time, and my wife. We would use the baby stroller as like a grocery cart, push it up. It was.
Yeah.
But I needed something different. I didn't want to go to the streets.
Wow. I see like this mundane cycle every day of waking up early, struggling, and trying to make ends meet, working dead end jobs.
Yeah.
And it's like that vicious working, like that 8 Mile movie, right? I think about that Eminem movie where it's like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I just need an opportunity, a chance. And if I had it, I'm going to capture it and seek everything you ever wanted. That whole dun, 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 dun. Like, I just start hearing that,
I was
right?
like, Mom Spaghetti. Yeah. I was like, I was ready.
Yes. And so then it was like, okay, it's time for me to sign up because there's nothing for me here.
Yes.
How receptive was she of that?
Well, she told me, if you join, I won't be here when you get back.
Wow.
I said, well, you're going to do what you're going to do regardless. But I'm going to do this. I have to do this. You're on board or you're not.
Wow.
So I was willing to accept the consequences, not really knowing that.
That's a huge sacrifice, man.
For sure.
Because, your kid is there.
I wasn't married at the time to her.
Yeah.
So we were just, we were engaged, I believe, but we had a child together.
Yeah.
And man, I was 28 years old in that predicament.
Bro, that's awesome. I mean, obviously the story gets a lot better and there's a lot more tragedy, but then there's a happy ending, right?
Yeah.
Or at least a happy now.
Yes.
But to think about joining the service already with those odds against you, you're done with the first quarter of your life. I look at life like in quarters, right?
Yeah, you're right.
The average human lives to about 80 years old, give or take 20 years, right?
True.
Depending on how you live.
True.
So, at 20 years old, you're just done with the first quarter of your life. You're into the second quarter of your life.
Yeah.
Like how much time passed by. Now you have a kid. You have a woman that you want to marry.
Yeah.
She's telling you, if you do this, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
So you're already joining with a heavy heart because you don't even know what to expect when you come back.
Yeah.
But you know that if you don't go, then nothing's going to change.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen if you don't make that sacrifice.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand is that for everything, there's a sacrifice. For every great reward that you want to capture in your life, you got to be willing to sacrifice something.
That's right.
Whether it's time or people or things or moments, you have to sacrifice that so you can get to the glory.
Yes.
And glory is in the other side of the suffering.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't know that then.
Right.
I knew I was suffering and I knew I needed change.
Yeah.
And I kind of had like this, like she was above everything. Like I held her on this pedestal. But I knew, and deep inside, I knew it wasn't going to last.
Yeah.
And I was nervous, but like I said, it was something I had to do.
Absolutely.
I wanted to make my family proud. I wanted to, escape the possible life in the streets and having to hustle. Like I just wanted out.
Yes.
So it was kind of nerve-wracking to knowing that I was going to go to basic training and be going up against potentially 17, 18-year-old kids straight out of high school. Like, that was nerve-wracking, man. Like, I was as old as probably like my drill sergeants.
No way.
Like the young kids used to call me Pops.
Yes. Wow.
I would shine their boots or scrub them because we were using the brown boots at that time. Yeah, it was rough.
That's interesting because I joined for the same reason. Like, I did not know what I was going to do with my life. I didn't know where I was going to be.
Yeah.
I knew that if I did not leave, I was going to end up in jail or dead.
Yeah.
Because of my circle.
Yep.
The people that I chose in my life. I grew up in the projects.
Yeah.
So when we moved to Florida from up
I grew
north,
up in the projects too.
yeah. So when I moved to Florida, those, you know, I mean, I hate to say it, but the ghetto kids
They were attracted.
Yeah, I felt at home with them.
Yeah.
Because that's who I was. That's who I was at the time, right?
Yep.
So you gravitate to those people, and in Florida, it's not like up north. Up north, they lock up everything.
Yeah.
Lock. In Florida, everything's out in the open for you.
Yes.
They don't do that out here. Not at least in certain areas. So it was real easy to get into trouble because everything was right there at your fingertips.
That's right.
And so that's why I joined the military, was because I wanted a future. I wanted a wife. I wanted children. And I knew that if I stood behind, I mean, what kind of example was I going to be for them? So that's very noble of you to do that.
Thank you.
I would love to dive more into your story.
Sure.
But another segment of this podcast is to get you in that barber chair.
Let's go.
And give you a fresh shave and clean up your beard, clean up your hair, get you looking good, feeling good. Because when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you do amazing things.
That's right.
So we'll get you in the chair and we'll continue your story, all right?
Okay.
Another episode of Barbaric Culture Presents. Who's in the chair? I got my boy Rick in the chair. We're about to get to the nitty gritty.
Let's do it.
You ready for the big reveal?
Make me pretty.
This is the B4.
Ooh.
Here we are.
Dang.
So, what do we usually do? It looks like you have a beautiful bald and bearded discipleship look going for yourself here.
Yeah. God blessed me with the beautiful bald head, so
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna keep rolling with it.
Bald and bearded?
Bald and beard.
Bald and bearded. Let's do it. All right. I got everything clean and ready to go. Kind of did some behind the scenes disinfecting, but sanitation is everything when it comes to a haircut service, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure everything is always clean at all times. So, Mr. Cardona, tell me about, you get out of boot camp, you did a 15 to 18 week boot camp. You get out, and then what's the next move after boot camp?
So I went home. Well, I went to where my girl at the time was staying. I had sent her when I left for boot camp. I sent her to her dad's in New Jersey.
Okay.
So I hopped on an airplane after graduation, headed to New Jersey.
Which you have to pay for on your own.
Yes.
Right, because they don't pay for you to go home.
Right.
They pay for you to go to your duty station.
Duty station. That's correct.
Right.
So I went, and she had already arranged for us to get married, like the next day. So
After you got home.
Okay,
So she didn't leave after all.
she didn't leave yet.
Oh.
So we went down to the courthouse, Toms River, New Jersey, got married, and I think I was there maybe a total of 3 or 4 days. And I told her, I said, I got to go get everything ready. I had been stationed down at Fort Hood, Texas,
Okay.
with the 1st Cav Division, which, if I might add, had been my dream since I was a kid.
1st Cavalry?
Yeah, so growing up, me and my dad, because he was in the military, we watched a lot of military movies, war movies.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good.
Black and yellow were always my favorite colors growing up. I could tell you why.
Is it because of Pittsburgh or what?
No, so to be perfectly transparent and honest, a lot of my family, actually on both sides, they ran with gangs. Most of them were Latin Kings.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Latin Kings.
So I grew up, all my cousins were older than me. And I wouldn't say they were trying to push it on me, but I just kind of fell in love with what they had going on, the brotherhood they had. And
The camaraderie?
yeah, so I didn't necessarily want to be in a gang myself, but I knew
You needed that fellowship.
yeah.
That's what you were looking for.
Right.
Even though it was in the wrong place.
Yeah, so I fell in love with Black and Yellow. Growing up, me and my dad watched a lot of war movies. We ended up watching a movie called, I believe it was called Apocalypse Now.
Yes,
And
that's a very popular movie.
Yes.
I want to say Francis Ford Coppola, which is the director of The Godfather, directed that movie.
Yeah, you know more than I do.
I want to say so. I mean, don't quote me, but look it up. Tell me in the comments.
Yes. So I remember seeing the first air cab, and they had Black and Yellow insignia with the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when I grow up, I'm gonna go to that unit. I'm gonna be a part of that group. And it was just crazy, how like, so there's power in what you speak, right? So
Yes.
I learned that at church. There's power in the spoken word.
Power in the tongue.
So I literally put that out there, and it sounds crazy, but when I got my duty station, it was with Fort Hood, with the 1st Cav Division.
Wow.
The Black and Yellow patch, and it kind of blew me away. Everybody was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Where I wanted to go." Like,
Yeah.
I had dreamed about being in this unit all my life.
Yes.
So,
This is before Wiz Khalifa.
yeah, for sure.
This is way before Wiz Khalifa.
So I get down there. I'm there by myself. They put me in the barracks with the single soldiers because my wife wasn't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I went, and they were already training to get deployed. They had already gotten their orders.
Okay.
So that was enough.
Where were they being deployed to?
We were getting deployed to Iraq.
Okay.
So they were in the middle of their training to go out there.
And you just got there?
I had literally just hit the base, got stationed to my unit, which was 112 Cav in Fort Hood.
So hold up. Time out. Pause. So your dream came true.
Yes.
That you got stationed where you wanted to get stationed with the cavalry that you wanted to be attached to.
Yes.
And as soon as you get there, we're going to war.
My second dream, yes, I always wanted to be like my father. And I told him, at that time we were fighting the Iraq War. I said, "Dad, I'm going to go fight in the Iraq War."
Wow.
Well, there it is again, power of the spoken word.
Yes.
As soon as I land in my duty station, I get orders, "Hey, we're deploying. You're going to go get, you're going to embed with your unit. You're going to go through the training." So I was literally there for like weeks, got my orders to Iraq.
Wow. Wow. Hold on. I bet you now you're very careful with what you're saying.
Absolutely, 100%.
Wow.
100%.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
So what did that look like? What did going to war look like for you? What was your experience like?
So it was like, we finished up. So I got there July 2010. So we finished up the year in all kinds of training, gunneries, just getting ready and prepared, outfitting any vehicles, making sure we had our supplies and our gear together.
Yes.
Finally, my wife ended up showing up. I believe she showed up in September, if I'm not mistaken, 2010. She showed up to Fort Hood. And as soon as she got there, I think it was a couple days later, I got orders to the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California. We call it NTC. And basically, they send units there for desert training when they're deployed. So it's like simulated battles in like...
Yeah, you're playing war games.
Yes, built up Iraqi towns or, desert.
So these are record. These probably look like movie studio sets.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you had like soldiers that are stationed there. They're playing the opposing force. And we just go through, what we've learned. We deploy. I remember calling my parents and I told them, "Look, I need you to come out in December. We're deploying. I'm going to Iraq." I remember the silence on the phone.
They were afraid for you, weren't they?
Yeah, so I remember.
That was in January you went out there?
Well, we deployed in January. So
yeah.
December they came out. And it was hard. Of course, my dad was like, "I don't care. We're flying out there like right now." I was like, "Well, you got to wait." I'm still training and doing stuff. But I just remember it being like, I just remember the feeling of you spoke this into existence.
You were listening to that?
Yes.
In your head? That's what was playing in your mind?
Yeah, like you literally,
like the spirit was telling you, you asked for this?
Yes. Wow. Like you wanted it, you got it. Now you're gonna see, you know.
Wow.
I had always fantasized about it. So
what did the trip there look like?
Oh wow, bro. I remember, so when I landed till the time we were getting deployed, I was growing bonds with the men I was working alongside with. Actually, a lot of them were young kids. And again, I'm the oldest pretty much than all of them, except for like the higher leadership. I just remember taking them under my wing because they were new too, and just kind of just forging this brotherly love, this bond with them. And I remember we're getting ready to deploy, so we get on a commercial plane and we fly up to Canada. We land. I guess we were fueling up. I think it was the Labrador Islands or something like that up there. Mm-hmm. Fuel up, hang out for a little bit while they're taking care of the planes. Fly to Germany. I'm not too sure what airfield we landed at, but again,
What are you riding in?
We were in commercial airliners.
Okay.
We were
just like a regular Delta flight?
Yeah. They were like unmarked planes though. But they just looked like regular, but like they were the big planes.
Right.
Because there was like a lot of soldiers on them.
Right.
It wasn't until we actually got to the Middle East where we transferred onto the military planes.
Okay.
I remember flying into Kuwait on a military plane. And when you get into Kuwait, you kind of go through some more training, for when you're in country.
Yes.
Rollover training, combat lifesaver training, just, different stuff to sharpen your skills.
So when you land in Kuwait, how far are you from the base?
From the base that we were going to be stationed at?
Yes.
So
where are you landing and how far is the base and how do you get there?
So where we landed, so we were in Buring for a little bit.
Where?
Camp Buring, they call it.
Camp Buring. Camp Buring.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did some stuff there. I'm not too sure how far it was, but I just remember we flew into Basra, Iraq after a little bit of time in Kuwait. We flew in on a military aircraft and we get kind of situated there, and then they tell us, okay, well, we're going to take you guys, they're talking about my platoon, we're going to take you guys and put you at a smaller outpost called a combat outpost, a COP.
Okay.
We're going to put you with infantry, a platoon of infantry, some medics, a platoon of mechanics, some cooks. So basically, this little combat outpost was in the middle of what I would consider like a ghetto, but in Iraq.
Okay.
And
now these people surrounded by civilians, the insurgents.
Yes.
Yes.
Regular civil Iraq.
That's all an insurgent was, right? Because I remember I kept hearing, we were attacked by an insurgency.
Yeah. It wasn't,
and we're thinking, oh man, military grade people, but these are just insurgent is someone like you and I.
So it wasn't like going like in World War II, like the guys knew who their enemy was. They were uniformed, accordingly. So it was like the United States soldiers had their uniform. The Germans had their uniform.
Yes.
No, we had our uniform, and then there was just jeans and t-shirts or shorts and just regular people.
Yes.
So I just remember like, how in the heck are we supposed to know who's who, or like what is the deal? And the ROE at the time, the rules of engagement, it was kind of like being set up for failure. Like we were sent in with our hands behind our back.
Wow.
You had to get PID.
What's that?
Proper identification.
Okay.
So like
you couldn't fire back until you got orders from higher up that it was okay because you had the proper identification, where, who.
So if you were before you can attack or shoot back at anyone, you had to make sure that these guys were the people you had to shoot back at.
Yes, 100%.
Even if you're about to be attacked or you're being surrounded or whatever, like
Yes.
that's wild.
Yeah. So we get there.
Can you turn your head this way real quick?
We actually fly into the cop on helicopter in the cover of night because they were afraid of taking fire if we went in during the day.
Right.
So we show up to this little outpost, if you will, and just it's pitch black, like no flashlight, nothing, and we're carrying all of our gear off of this helicopter
At night.
into the base. The soldiers that were there.
What's running through your mind? You're a almost 30-year-old man.
Yeah. Well, I turned 30 in Iraq.
Okay. But at this time, you're 28, right? 29.
29.
You're 29 years old. You've never been to outside the country, I suppose.
No.
First country you go to, you're doing night ops where you're taking all of the supplies that you need to survive out there in the middle of the night, surrounded by God knows who.
Yes.
Is there a sense of fear or worry going through your mind at this time?
If I told you I wasn't afraid at that moment in time, I'd be lying.
Right.
Because I couldn't see what I was dealing with.
Right.
You know, we didn't have our night vision or anything yet. It was just our uniform that we wore, and then like our rucksacks full of our gear or whatever we were carrying, and then we didn't. At that point, we didn't even have our weapons with us. Our weapons were inside the combat outpost that we were walking into.
So you guys were just out there naked.
Yeah.
Close your eyes real quick. Yep.
As soon as we got in there, you know, they locked down the base, the little combat outpost. We got our weapons. Told, you know, okay, you guys are going to be in this tent. Essentially, the tents look like airfield hangars with, they were small airfield hangars with like a kind of coating. It looked like it was like splatter painted coating, like insulation. And then a little tiny rickety air conditioner that was supposed to, you know, keep us cool. But
did it work?
When the machine worked, but
because it's hot out there. It's like 130 degrees.
120 outside during the day. It could be upwards or downwards of like 60 at night because you're in the desert.
So it's really cool at night.
Yeah, I just remember. I remember going to sleep and like keep waking up because you keep hearing things. It's like, what is outside? I didn't get to see what I was walking into. I remember that first morning I took a look around and it was like, what did I get myself into?
Because when you got there, it's at night, so you can't see in the horizon.
Nothing. No
you
buildings,
can't see in the distance.
No nothing.
It's pitch black out there.
Pitch black.
Because it's not like a first world country where
Nothing.
you have street lamps and lights and things like that. The buildings are all lit up. Like there's none of that.
Nothing.
So when you wake up in the morning and you go outside and you look around, that had to be surreal.
It was horrible. I just remember the stench.
What would it smell like? Can you describe it?
Like garbage.
No.
Like
a landfill?
yes.
No.
Like a landfill.
Wait, why?
Because like after the invasion, everything shut down. So like they didn't have a sanitation department. Like nothing was running really.
Understood. So everything was just built up, piled up.
Like there was just trash. We had a road we designated trash road. There was literally, it looked like you're just driving through a landfill, but it was in the neighborhood. I mean, it was when you're talking about third world country and you're coming from, you know, America where we have everything at our fingertips. Like these people didn't even have toilet paper. Like it was a real culture shock. It was a shock.
So how did you wipe? You had toilet paper.
We had toilet paper.
Gotcha.
Whether it be from the MREs or just supply, you know, hooking you up. The people, they did. So you would see, you know, the men walking around with a big bottle of water, like a really big bottle of water. Essentially, they would go do their business, not even in a toilet, a little hole. That's what they use the toilet, and they would wash their hand. So
Yeah.
like, hey,
They
when
shook
you
hand
go-
with their left hand?
when you go in, don't shake this hand because this is the hand they wipe with. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
There's a couple of countries that do that.
Yeah.
There's some places in Africa that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting.
it was definitely different. It was different.
So what hand did you shake?
I didn't shake hands.
No.
I did fist bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like,
safer.
hey, how you doing, brother?
This is pre-COVID.
Yes, pre-COVID.
Yeah. So we didn't even know what that. We didn't know that later on in life, people were going to be weirded out by handshakes and fist bumps were going to be the norm, or the elbow. You remember when people were giving each other elbows?
Yeah.
That was so weird. But yes, I do remember that time. Interesting. That's interesting. It's a culture shock.
Definitely.
Yes.
It got real. The first couple weeks we were there, just stuff started popping off.
So what does that look like? So you get there.
We started.
You showed
running
up.
missions.
Okay. What does a mission look like?
So my platoon, we would jump into our MRAPs.
What is that? I don't know what that means. I'm a elementary school student that doesn't know what any of this stuff means.
So basically, it's like a big convoy truck that just has its armor to the. It looks like a big old rhino on wheels.
Okay.
It's got a IED sensor type thing. Like it would set off. It's supposed to set off.
What is an IED?
Improvised explosive device.
So this is a little bomb on the side of the road.
Oh, these weren't little.
They're not.
No,
These are big bombs.
these were big.
IEDs. Improvised
Explosive device.
explosive device.
Yeah.
IED.
Yeah, they would put them in anything. Dead animals, trash,
What was it made of? What was it made of? Do you know?
homemade explosives, any type of sharp metal object that they could get.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel.
That they would put inside of a tube of some sort. And
Old rockets, mortar shells.
yeah.
They were creative.
Wow.
They would bury them and use like pressure plates. So like when the wheel went over it, boom. There's no time to react.
Wow.
I was in a couple
This is
of
real.
those. Yeah, it was.
You were in a couple of those explosions?
Yeah, so it was like not even. I think we were there a month and we hit our first IED. The IED was 500 pounds HME, homemade explosive. It was in a used mortar tube.
Wow.
They'd buried in the ground. We were on a routine patrol, and so it was the first vehicle. I was the second vehicle with the lieutenant, and
Okay.
then there was two other vehicles behind me. I remember we're just talking, calling out, different landmarks,
You need to head back from me. Yep.
different, objectives we had to meet, and in the flash, I just remember the explosion and the concussion, and it took my breath away.
Wow. Where did it hit?
So it hit the first truck
In front of you.
in front of me, but we were so close, and you're not supposed to ride real close, but where we were going was kind of bottlenecked.
So you had to
So
you had to
there
be
was no
compressed.
choice.
They're gonna coordinate.
And they did that on purpose. It was like
It was strategically put that way because they knew that you had to travel a certain way to get through here.
right.
So they were going to cause more damage that way.
And we thought we were good because there was an Iraqi checkpoint like meters away, like maybe 200 meters.
Iraqi checkpoint is
So it was the Iraqi army, and they would have checkpoints all over the city we were in. And,
okay.
there's
Now
a
this Iraqi army, are these Saddam's old folks or who are these people?
ragtag.
What does that mean?
Dude, these guys couldn't even do jumping jacks in cages. Like they were
Wow.
they were all ate us.
Wow.
But we thought, hey, we're here to help them out. They got our back. Not the case. So we figured, we're going through here. There's a checkpoint up there. We're good. Nothing's going to pop off. I remember the explosion happening, and my ears started ringing. My vision went blurry, and my LT actually screamed at me to stop the vehicle. The truck on front of us was on fire.
Wow.
So immediately he's calling it in. He's telling me get comms with the truck. So I call out to the truck, no answer. I keep calling out to the truck for anybody, answer, nothing, nobody. There's no movement. The truck is literally on fire, and at any moment, I know those rounds that are inside the truck are going to start cooking off. And if there is anybody in there, like, it's game over.
They're cooked. That's what my one of my teenagers would say right now.
Cooked.
They were cooked.
Cook City.
Wow. Were there any survivors in that?
So we watched it burn for a little bit, and the feeling of helplessness, because you want to open the door, but you don't know who's 25 yards out waiting to pick you off.
Do you mean like a sniper?
Snipers, machine guns, whatever they had waiting. RPGs was another good thing they used. They used to put like just little IEDs for troops. Get out of their vehicles, unmount.
As soon as they get out,
boom,
shrapnel all over your
legs
face.
are done. You're just laying there waiting for somebody else to get out, maybe. So
Wow.
I'm like, we got to go get them. We got to go.
So you guys are sitting in the truck,
watching
helpless.
this truck burn, and I'm like, dear Lord God, like, how are we supposed to explain this? Because I knew their wives. I knew that they had kids or, whatever. And these were my guys. These were my brothers that I had literally formed bonds with.
The guys that they dropped you off with, there's a couple of medics, a couple of mechanics, those same group of people?
My platoon, we were all tankers.
Okay.
But we didn't go to Iraq with tanks. They hooked us up with an infantry unit, and we went in these big trucks. Well, at first we started with the little Humvees. We got upgraded to the big trucks. So we're watching it burn.
Wow. So you guys are watching this truck burn. You're thinking about the families. And I'm sure it felt like forever.
Yeah, it felt like an eternity.
And then what happened?
I just remember just, saying, please God, let them be okay, let them be alive. And I just remember like a couple minutes pass after I say that, and the back door where the mounted soldiers would dismount out of,
Yes.
it kicks open. Somebody kicked the door open.
And the door swings open.
Both doors
Burning,
swing
the
open.
car's burning.
The outside of the truck.
Doors swing open.
Tires are on fire. Everything's on fire. And
And at any minute,
the whole thing, all the rounds could have started cooking off.
wow.
I remember I first saw Leon. Then I saw Hammond. Then I saw Sergeant Galloway.
Wow.
All three of them come running out. They have nothing on them. Just literally their uniform, and they're running towards my truck. And I remember Sergeant Galloway stopping, and he's pounding on my door, let me in, let me in.
Oh, he's scared for his life.
Yeah, and I'm like, sorry, go to the back. I can't roll the window down. I'm just trying to scream as loud as I can. Go to the rear of the truck.
Yeah.
And the rear of the truck, our truck, they kick the doors open, the guys that were in the back, and start pulling them inside. And I remember my LT telling me, Cardona, push past this because we don't need the rounds cooking off and hitting our truck.
Yes.
Or our gunner up top. So I remember driving through these flames. And
Bro, this is like a movie.
yeah, I remember driving through the flames and stopping like maybe 100 yards past. And we set up so like we blocked the road, and our gunner aims down the road. He's like, LT's like, Cardona, get on your night vision and keep an eye out. Tell the gunner where to look. So I'm literally scanning, and it's crazy, We're asking the guys, are you okay? The medic, we had a medic with us. He runs up to the truck. He gets in the back. He's checking them out. They're all good. By the grace of God, they're all good. Nothing. So the explosion was so hot and so powerful, it melted the door shut. They couldn't get out through their regular doors. They had to keep the back out. That's what took them so long.
Wow. That's why they couldn't get out through the regular doors because they had melted.
Like somebody
they sealed it.
welded, literally welded the door shut. So I'm keeping eyes out, and I see this. It's like a gang, dude. A gang of just people, and I'm like, oh. I tell the gunner,
Surrounded?
No, they're coming at us on foot down the road. I tell the gunner, face your gun this direction, lock and load. I tell the LT, I said, sir, this is what I see. We're not going to stand a chance. The other guys are behind us. You're going to get at us. We're done. And I just remember him telling the gunner, just be ready for my signal, fire when you hear me. And they get closer, and there's like, dude, it looked like hundreds of guys. And they get closer, and they get close. They're all on foot. They have weapons, AKs. I'm like, sir, they're getting closer. And then like zoom in. And I'm like, hold your fire, hold your fire. It's the checkpoint. The Iraqi army had mobilized and started walking towards the explosion.
They heard the explosion and they were responding.
They were responding
on foot.
So they came with like this little, it was like a little water buffalo fire hose thing, like trying to, I'm like, tell the interpreter, tell them to stay away because they're all going to get killed if these rounds start cooking off. And no sooner I said that, the round started cooking off, and it just sounded like a battle. Just pew, 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 just explosion. It was crazy.
Wow.
And my LT, he makes contact with our operating base, like the big one at the airport that the division was stationed at. And our QRF unit, it was our 3rd platoon, Sergeant Slender. Him and his boys, I remember them showing up and surrounding the area and just holding security so we can get all our guys out of there. That was my first experience with chaos from war, and it just stuck with me so much. I mean, there was other instances. I mean, one instance we were driving through the town after holding. We used to take high-ranking officers to the Iraqi police station. So that they can have meetings and whatever, sit downs. And we were at this one location, it seemed like for hours and hours and hours, and it just seemed off. And I remember pulling out of this place, and there was nobody around but like a little group of people down the road. And we just happened to have to drive by those people.
Mm-hmm.
I remember first truck passed by, my truck passed by, and we're all keeping our eyes on them.
Right, because you don't know what to expect. At any moment, anything could pop off.
I remember the last truck, we were 4 trucks, the last truck gets up to where these people are. And somebody threw, I forget what kind of grenade it was. Essentially, it had like a little parachute on it. And they were trying to get it inside the gunner's hole to explode.
Wow, inside.
And it landed like maybe a foot or two away from the gunner's hole. Knocked him inside, unconscious. Like any further closer, he'd have been dead, or it would have went inside, and everybody would
have been dead.
And I remember the same thing. Like nobody on the comms. They were all like kind of out of it because the explosion, the halon systems went off in the truck.
Halon is the
fire suppressor system. Yeah. So
is it AFFF?
It took. I just remember it being halon.
Yeah.
It took the breath away from them, so they were having a hard time speaking. I remember the sergeant in charge of that vehicle coming across the net finally, and it sounded like slow motion, somebody talking in really slow motion, just like, man down.
Wow. And this is from the explosion?
Yeah, so
it's kind of it's disorientation?
Yeah. And,
wow.
We, again, so like, people started running as civilians, and now, mind you, I tell the gunner, face your gun towards these civilians. Like this might pop off right now. Scan your sector, scan your rooftops. Like just be ready. This is like ambush style stuff. And I remember just the dude that threw the grenade, like they were getting ready to light him up, and he ended up taking off through some alleys. But we couldn't get out of the trucks because we were still actively dealing with, are these guys dead in there? Who's down?
Right.
So we had to get into like a formation to where we could figure out everything, called it in to higher up. They're like, get to the combat outpost. I just remember us, when everybody was finally okay, we were doing like it seemed like 90 through this little dirt road town.
Wow.
It's just crazy.
Do me a favor real quick, while we soak this in. Push this out right here in the middle. Yep. That's 2 different instances that you just described of near-death situations, right? Mm-hmm. Now, how long were you in before you started seeing all this stuff? How long were you, push this up here? How long were you in Iraq before you started seeing all of these different experiences where they were near death, where you're calling on God, a God you don't even know?
Right. Yeah. I believe it was like a month or two that we were in town. We were in country. But like the very first one didn't have anything to do with us. They had blown up a bus full of women and children, kind of like to send a message to us.
What do you mean? Hold up, rewind. Paint that picture for me. What did that look like?
So essentially, it was just like a Votran,
Okay,
right?
like a city bus.
Like a city bus. Yes, public transportation
Okay.
filled with just women and children. And
How do you guys know?
well, from the body parts and
Oh, you found out afterwards. You didn't know this looking at this bus.
no.
So how did you know the bus was there?
Well, they heard the explosion. The explosion went off. Obviously, you can't just run out of your gates and play hero.
Right. You need to assess what's going on.
Sure, everything happened so fast, and then they ended up having to go out, check out what's going on because it was on the main road up to our little outpost, and we still have patrols going in and out, right? So you need entry road to.
Yeah, you have like a sentry, like a sentry
so
guard.
we had like an outer gate and then an inner gate.
Okay.
So the outer gate was manned by Iraqi army. The inner gate, which was all of us American guys, just I would say no more than 70 of us, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We had our own guard towers. And so, yeah, I just remember driving by this, and there's like little kid flip flops laying everywhere.
Wow.
Like burnt up, just the carcass of the bus. And then obviously those bodies had to get, picked up, and that's where the assessment came that.
So you guys had to do this yourselves because you're not calling 911. There's no EMS,
there's no-
fire department. None of that is coming.
None of their
That was
services.
all that death was in your hands.
So that we had to deal with it. I remember, I think they gave like a bulldozer to push some debris over. Yeah,
Debris with body parts.
Well, yeah, because it's in the sand. It's in the dirt road.
That's insane.
That was our first taste of essentially Iraq.
How long were you there before you seen that?
Weeks, and then
This is right away.
right away.
This is what you asked for,
Yeah,
and this is what you got.
yeah.
You had no idea what you were asking for when you got there, did you?
None at all. But again, you sign up under the guise of I'm going to sign up and I'm going to serve my country and I'm going to provide for my family and I'm going to take care of the guy next to me, on my left and my right. But you don't understand like what the real consequences.
The severity of it all, right?
Of getting deployed into that kind of situation.
Yeah. And it's funny because can you do the same thing on this side? Push that out. Straight down the middle. Straight in the middle, yeah. The Army and any branch of the military does a great job of painting this picture of the military and what it could do for you. John F. Kennedy had a great speech, probably one of the greatest speeches in American history, where he says, don't ask what your country could do for you, but what you could do for your country.
Yeah.
Right? And this is when we're talking about going into Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people were against the Vietnam War, right? And that's why he had to have a speech like that to kind of push what's going on over there, the agenda. It comes out later that a lot of the stuff that we went to war for over there was a bunch of lies that they were feeding us. Can you bring your lip in, roll it down, straight down? Yep. And it's interesting because all these wars are started, and I understand that since the beginning of our human existence, war has been something that we cannot run from. War is something that it's throughout our history, and it will continue because that's just the way humans are. But what you don't see is how it affects the people that are fighting those wars.
Right.
What you don't see is how they get young children, essentially, right? 18, coming out of high school. So a lot of them which don't have a pot to piss in and don't have anything really going on for themselves to sign up because of what you can get, the benefits of what you can get after you serve. But it's interesting to me because the same politicians that give the thumbs up and the green light to fight these wars won't send their own children to fight them. It's essentially people like you and I that come from places that don't have much.
Right.
That we
Small town America.
talk to the recruiter. They paint us this picture of what life could look like, not knowing the sacrifice that you have to go through in order to get to the prize at the end. And then a lot of times, the prize isn't even worth it because you're not mentally functional. Sure. You're not mentally capable of enjoying, reaping the benefits of what you joined for.
It's hard, we just, we did a little bit of time. My time came up. I actually, while I'm over there, my wife is, pregnant with our second child, and everything's going all right, I thought. Well, 4:00 in the morning, Iraq time, somebody comes busting in my tent, comes and stands over me in my cot. They're like, Cardona, get up. I'm like, what? I don't have guard duty.
Yeah, like, what do you want?
No, you need to get up. You need to pack your civilian clothes that you came here with. We're sending you home.
Wow.
I'm like, what do you mean? So they're like, I can't talk to you right now. You have to come to the command tent. So I go to the command tent. First sergeant's waiting for me. Captain's waiting for me. They're like, Cardona, you need to pack your stuff. I said, what's going on? I said, sir, I look at the captain. I said, sir, what's going on? Why are you sending me home? I didn't want to leave my guys. They're like, son, your wife's in the hospital. She's about to lose the baby. The baby's got 18% chance survivability.
Wow.
You need to get on a flight. We're sending you to Kuwait. You're going to fly home on a commercial. And we don't know what's going to happen from there.
How long after you were in did you get this news?
So my son was born March 31st. So
Of what?
Of 2011. So we deployed January. So now it's March.
3 months?
Yeah, about 3 months I was there.
3 months you were in. You've seen all of that, like all those explosions and all of those near-death experiences.
Yeah.
Before you joined, your wife was like, I'm not going to be around for this.
Yeah.
You join, you see all this stuff.
Yeah.
And 3 months in, we got to go because your baby's about to die.
Yes. And I just...
How did you receive that?
I was panicked. Obviously, no father wants, their child to die. But at the same moment, I didn't want to leave my guys either. I felt like I was abandoned.
Isn't that wild that the attachment that you gain in such a small period of time with these guys that you didn't even know?
So they hooked me up with a captain. He's going home on emergency leave. They're like, you're going to provide, you're going to be his personal security detail home. Mm-hmm. You're going to be in American, clothing. You're going to fly on a commercial airline. I just remember flying from Kuwait straight to Washington.
Yes.
And then from Washington, we switched planes to Fort Hood.
Okay.
Somebody picked me up, took me straight to the hospital. And I remember getting into the gown because they were like, the doctor came into the room. It's like, son, I know where you just came from. I know what you've probably seen. I don't know what's going through your head, but you need to make a decision right now. I said, well, what's going on? He explained what's going on. Her water had broke essentially, but the baby was going to be premature if it survived. Son, we need you to make a decision. We can either leave the baby in and see if the water fills up, which is unexplainable, or we could take the baby out and see if it survives.
Put it in the NICU.
Yeah, so I remember talking to my wife at the time, and I said, either way, we're looking at maybe losing the baby, but
I'm feeling led to just take him out now and seeing what happens. So I just kind of, the doctor had left us to make the decision.
Right.
I said, all right,
So you guys can like,
chat and
brief about it?
Yeah. It wasn't like any reunion. There wasn't, oh, I missed you. It was all about the baby.
Yeah, it's business, strictly business.
So the doctor comes busting back in. They're like, okay, we need your decision now. I said, sir, because he's an officer. I said, sir, take the baby out. We're going to take our chances and see what happens. And yeah, little Devin was born.
Wow. That's Kid Flash?
Kid Flash.
Kid Flash. We call him Kid Flash because in F3, we're giving names, and F3 is a organization we'll talk about a little bit later, Faith, Fitness, and Fellowship.
Yeah.
And that young man joins us and working out in the mornings.
Yeah.
What a story. I did not know that about him, man. Yeah. That's a heck of a story. He got a little fighter from the beginning.
Yeah, he made it. He was in the NICU for 3.5, 4 months because he was so early. When they took him out, he fit in the palm of my hand.
This isn't a part of my job, but I'm going to help you out here, okay?
Thanks. Appreciate that.
That's huge.
I remember them putting him in my hand. It wasn't even cradling him. I just holding him in one hand.
Yeah.
He was like 2 pounds, some ounces or something.
Wow.
Like,
he was tiny.
Like, Lord God, please, just my first boy, please just let him live.
Yeah.
And I was able to see him come out, and I get orders back because.
How long after he was born?
It was a couple weeks. So essentially, my emergency leave, they took. So when you're in rotation, they send you home for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
R&R. So essentially, my emergency leave was my R&R.
Yeah. So there wasn't either or. This is like, you're going to take it now.
Yeah.
We'll just get this out the way and then we'll send somebody else.
Yes.
Wow.
So I remember falling into a depression while I was home because I wanted to be back in Iraq so bad with my guys. I felt like I abandoned them. But here he is fighting for his life in the NICU.
Do you hear that? Do you hear how well I don't want to call it brainwashing, but the rewiring of the brain that the military does to you when you join is, and I'm not knocking it because it's just wild to me that while this man is having his child fitting in his hand and not knowing if the child is going to survive or not, he's thinking about his comrades that are back at war and them not being able to be with their families. And it's just fascinating to me, and it's alarming a little bit how the military does such a good job of, I don't want to say brainwashing, but rewiring your mind to prioritize being at war. It's not just the military and their training, but being there suffering with these men really makes you have a place for them in your heart, right?
Yeah.
So it's just amazing to me, and it's a part of the problem with PTSD. Is they train you how to fight a war, but there's not a lot of proactive care on getting you out of that war, and that's something I would like to elaborate more on when we get back to the table.
Sure.
When we get back to the other chairs. But for now, what I really want to do is summarize this haircut and giving you a good reveal.
Yeah, that's sexy right there.
Like that? Yeah. Let's go. My man is back.
Nice.
Looks good?
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll polish you up.
Absolutely.
Put a little aftershave on there, a little lube. Do me a favor, pick your head up for me while I drop this headrest.
Yeah, it's definitely a different world when you go through stuff like that.
Say again?
It's definitely a different world when you go through stuff like that. Just that deployment was just rough. But again, I asked for it. Mm-hmm. It was just glorious to me growing up. I was fascinated, but when you go and you do it, it's a different story.
And there was 8 years of that. Is that correct?
Well, I did one deployment, active duty. Then I went into the reserves so at the end of my deployment, I found out that my wife at the time was shacked up with another soldier while I was in the desert.
No way.
We call it Jody.
Yeah. His name's Jody. No matter who he is, his name's Jody.
Yeah, he's the soldier that stays behind and takes the wives of the soldiers that are deployed. So
Wow.
Jody got a hold of my wife at the time, and I found out only by chance. It was my turn to make my call for the day, and I kept calling and she wouldn't answer. Kept calling, she wouldn't answer. Finally, she answered. Sounded like she was drunk. She's like, why are you bothering me? I'm trying to be on a date with my boyfriend."
Wow.
And so I kind of just, my world at that point fell apart.
Now you're deployed at this time.
Yeah, I'm sitting in Iraq on this combat outpost.
Oh.
And I went to my superiors, said, "Hey, Sergeant, I got to talk to you." Let him know. He's like, "Hey, Cardona, like, I know this story. Do I have to take your pin from your weapon away?
Yes.
I don't need you blowing your brains out." Essentially.
He knows the story because it's something that sadly happens way too often.
Yeah. So they threatened to take my pin away, but I'm like, "You can't leave me with no weapon to protect myself. Like, I'll be good. I'll just deal with it when I get home." And I was just in a depression from, at that point I was in a depression for leaving my family back home. Now I'm in a depression, my wife is unfaithful. My kids are back home. They have to deal with this. So I struggled with that up until we left.
Wow.
It was rough.
That's traumatic.
I felt like the Army had taken my life and just kind of destroyed it a little bit at a time with the deployment.
Yeah.
And I held it against it. I was like, you know what? I'm not giving you any more of my time. I'll just go reserves and finish my time out.
Wow. Wow. Such a challenging time of your life, right? Like fighting for your life and then losing everything that you loved and really starting from scratch.
Yeah, I came home, finished my time out active duty. They kept begging me, you're a great leader. You're good to go. Just re-up, sign those papers. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
My
Who wants to do that?
Right. I remember my last day leaving Fort Hood. I grabbed a 6-pack of Monsters. It was me, all my gear from the military that, you leave with, my civilian clothes that I have accumulated, and a vehicle. And I drove from Texas to Florida. It was either go chase my ex-wife, try and make things work, or go to Florida and start over. And so my heart told me, go to Florida, it's going to be okay. But I had to start from scratch. I 30 years old, I had to move back in with my parents, had no job, lost the car because I had no job. I turned to alcohol, turned to drugs.
Yes.
Just
like a lot of us do.
Just lost in the sauce. And of course, my dad had been through it. He'd been deployed. He knew that fight. So he's just watching me just
deteriorate,
self-destruct. And he couldn't do anything about it. So.
The beauty of it all, because there's a good ending to this, is that the story is not where it started, but it also was not where it ends neither, right?
Right.
So when we get back to the chairs, we're gonna break down the story and how he got out of this situation.
Yes.
Because depression is real, PTSD is real. Finding yourself after the military, finding life and purpose after the military is real. And we'll get to the nitty gritty on that on the next segment. What a fascinating story with my brother Rick Cardona here. What an honor and a privilege to have you in the chair and have you share your story. And I know it was a brief summary of so much that you've seen.
Sure.
First and foremost, you look amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I feel amazing.
That light is shining really good and resonating with you right there.
Fresh.
Good. In this segment, what I like to do is take a topic of discussion from the barber chair and elaborate a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of social and psychological issues throughout life.
Sure.
And with barbaric culture, what I like to do is present a group of healthy alternatives to the things that we see in our day to day. Some healthy culture, some healthy lifestyles that help us overcome some of the issues and traumas in our society. I think we both agree that in this last topic of discussion, one of the greatest factors is PTSD, right?
Absolutely.
Associated with being in combat. Now, I know you've seen not near death experiences, but you've also witnessed death in your time in the service. And if you don't mind, what did that do to you internally when it came time to give up the military and come into the civilian sector? What did that do for you?
Well, one, it makes you really reflect on what type of person you were. Did you do a good enough job? Were you all that you were capable of? But it also makes you kind of take inventory of what's your spiritual life like.
Interesting.
Yeah. I grew up Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like I was forced to go to church. It wasn't something that I wanted to do.
Right.
So by the time I was an adult and was in the military, I had left all the church stuff behind. The only time I
Pause real quick. The only time, go ahead, finish that sentence real quick.
the only time I went to church was in basic training, and it was to get away from the drill sergeants. I would go to church, and
I would like to touch on that because I also grew up Catholic and didn't have a real relationship with God growing up. But in boot camp, we went, you get your dog tags. When you sign up at MEPS, they ask you, what is your denomination? And I put Catholic because I didn't know anything else.
Yeah.
Right? And throughout boot camp, they let you go to Sunday service. And there was a hymn. I don't know if it was Roman Catholic or Greek Orthodox. They're very similar. Mm-hmm. But I went to Sunday service. Mm-hmm. And there was a hymn that went, "Glory to God in the highest, and peace to his people on earth." Yeah. And my God, every time I heard that, I felt this chills in my body and I started crying, and I don't know why, because I didn't know anything about the spirit back then. I didn't know anything about feeling the presence of God at that time in my life.
Sure.
It felt weird to me.
Yeah.
But you said that you didn't have a relationship with God. You grew up Catholic, but throughout your story multiple times, you've mentioned God.
Yeah.
So if there wasn't a relationship then, there was acknowledgement then, but it sounds like there's a relationship now.
Absolutely.
How did that happen? What did that look like?
Well, my relationship with God, I literally had been out of the service for 2 years, struggling with PTSD. Just
what does that struggle look like?
Isolation, addictions, hate, anger.
Mm-hmm.
Just
hate service, hate general,
hate yourself, hate the service, just because I had like a rocky relationship with it.
Yes.
I used to hate the people that I went and fought in Iraq, just because I lost some guys while in Iraq.
Wow. So you started to build hate for the people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just very dark, almost like a heavy cloud following you everywhere, and people could see it. And if you didn't tell them that you were a veteran, that you had been to war, like they could almost tell themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's this demeanor, there's a presence, an aura.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was missing my kids because they were in Pennsylvania. I was in Florida starting over.
Yes.
Just going through it. Suicidal.
Wow.
Couple attempts.
Close? Attempts?
Oh, yeah, there was attempts.
Wow, that's very dark place.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry, continue.
I had heard about one of my friends literally having a hard time because they had just separated from the service also,
Yeah.
and just kind of reached out, trying to see where their head was at. Maybe we could talk together.
Yeah. Kind of heal together kind of thing.
Yeah, they were in another part of the United States, and of course I'm in Florida, and they were bad. And I just remember telling them, like, I'm gonna get you help. I'm gonna be there for you. Like, I know we're not serving side by side, but I love you, man. Like, just wait for me. Just hold on. And I was just trying to find every opportunity to get him help.
Yes.
Not even concerned about my own well-being.
Yeah.
So I found an organization, and I've gotten comms with the founder. Told him my story. Told him, a little bit about my buddy. It's like, well, if you both go, who's going to hear the stories?
Mm-hmm.
But we can help you.
Yes.
So I asked, well, how can you help me? It's like, well, let's raise awareness because there's going to be more of you out there.
Wow.
In the future, there's more of you out there now.
Right now. Right now.
Yeah. So let's do something about it. Want you to raise awareness for PTSD.
What did that look like?
So it's Warrior Expeditions is the organization.
Yes. Yes.
And essentially they take combat veterans and they put them on extensive nature trails.
Okay.
I think the trail has to be over 500 miles long.
Okay. And
So-
you went on this hike.
Yes.
You went on this trail.
I did. They raised awareness. So the trail I was on was called the Florida Trail.
Okay.
It starts I started in the Everglades,
Okay.
and the end point was Fort Pickens. It's on the Florida-Alabama border.
Okay.
I believe it's close to
From the Everglades to the border of Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a real Florida man right there, boy.
Yeah. So
What did that look like?
it was different. I was like, yeah, I'm Army. I could do this.
Yeah.
Like, we ruck for fun.
You were gun-ho about this.
For sure.
Yeah, at the very start of it, right?
Yeah.
How long did that trail take? How long did that walk?
I started in January and I ended in April.
Wow.
Just before Easter. Yeah. January 8th I started and I ended just before Easter.
Wow. That's 4 months out there
Yeah.
in the wilderness.
I started
Just
with
walking.
with a tent, but at that time it's like wet season in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't sleep in water.
Well, you're in the
tent.
Everglades too. That's where you're starting. So I
Yeah.
imagine that it didn't last long
No.
out of the Everglades.
By the time I was out of the Everglades, I said, look, I told the organization, I said, hey, we got to do something about this because I can't sleep in water.
Mhm.
Like, it's just, I'm going to be miserable. I'm not going to get rest. And I have to walk all these miles. Like, that's a feat in itself.
Yeah.
So they have donors and companies they work with that are, hiking materials. And
Yes.
they ended up going with a company called Eno and got me, it was a hammock. But it had like a mosquito net, canvas,
Yeah.
like a little roof.
It's a hammock on steroids.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it sounds like.
For sure. And I slept hanging from the trees
No way.
in the woods.
It's probably safer there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a couple close calls. I would feel at night like raccoons like walking underneath it and their back is brushing my back.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh god.
Oh Lord, what is this?
Yeah.
It's a mountain lion or God knows what. Because Florida has a lot of wildlife. We have rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
We have water
Yeah,
moccasins.
panthers,
We have panthers.
black bears.
Right? Black bears, anacondas now
Yes.
in the Everglades.
So that's funny you say that because we couldn't walk a tiny section of the Everglades because it was mating season for the anacondas.
Yes.
And they were like, we can't put you in that kind of danger.
Yeah. This is the real deal. Like Florida is,
Yeah.
if you want wilderness, wild animals, like
Yeah.
Steve Irwin,
Yeah.
Discovery Channel, Animal Planet type stuff.
Yeah.
Come to Florida
For sure.
and take a wild ride in the wilderness,
For
and you'll
sure.
see.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you're walking. Not only are you walking hundreds, if not thousands, of miles, right?
Yeah.
You're doing it in boots.
No. So they gave us hiking shoes.
Okay.
They were rated for 500 miles. So every 500 miles, they would send a new
Stop.
pair of
Like a care package, airdrop.
Exactly. Like, what do you need? Do you need wipes? Do you need this? That? And they would send a package to the closest post office.
Okay.
Go to the post office.
You would have to walk to the post office?
Yeah, sure. So what they did was essentially they contacted VFWs close to the town, to the trail.
Yes.
They call them trail towns.
Okay.
And they would say, hey, we have some hikers.
So it's like a rendezvous point.
Yes.
Okay.
They would make contact. They would say, hey, we got some hikers. They should be in this area at this trailhead on this day about. They have your number. They're going to call you when you get to the trailhead. Can you pick them up, take them to your VFW post or what was the other one? American Legion post.
Yes.
Give them something hot to eat. Maybe
Yes.
one of your members can take them, get them a shower, wash their
Wow.
clothes. And then when all of that's done, put them back on the trail. They'll keep walking.
You know, this reminds me of, it sounds like the Underground Railroad.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it sounds like to me. I mean,
For sure.
yeah, you're not running from slavery, but
I'm running from my
essentially,
demons.
I'm sorry?
I was running from my demons.
You're running from your demons. Wow.
Yeah.
And the name of this organization is
Warrior Expeditions.
Warrior Expeditions at warriorexpeditions.org.
Yes.
They have a warrior hike.
Yep.
They have a warrior bike and a warrior paddle.
Yes.
And you did the hike.
I did the hike.
You went through the Underground Railroad
Yeah.
with rendezvous points.
Yep.
Now, how it took you from January to April
Yes.
to get this done.
Yes.
They had supplies along the way, so it's not like you were starving. You
At one point we were.
were hungry.
Yeah, we ran out of food and water.
Yeah.
And we were in a desolate area. Our town wasn't for miles.
You said we.
I started with somebody.
Okay.
And they unfortunately they didn't make it all the way.
They didn't make it.
So I walked alone a good portion.
How much of it?
I'd say-
2/3, 1/3,
I'd say like 3/4.
3/4 of it. That's the
Or
majority.
you know what? No, I would say like they kind of dropped off after Ocala. So I found God in Ocala
Oh,
and he dropped away.
you found God
Yeah.
and he left.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yeah.
It's almost like, I want to know that story. I want to know what that sounds like. But
Sure.
you suffering from PTSD,
Yeah.
you were doing this for 2 years on your own,
Yeah.
right? You called a friend. He's like, "Yo, we gotta raise awareness. We heard about this expedition, warriorexpedition.org. You guys decided to walk from the Everglades to Alabama. God is sending you a helper. You guys make it to Ocala.
Yeah.
He drops off,
He drops off shortly after, yeah.
and you find God.
I find God.
What does that look like?
I remember waking up. So at that point in time, my internal clock had gotten in sync with nature. So I was up with the sun. I was down with when the sun went away.
Like our ancestors.
Yes. And that's part of the therapy of this program. You get back in sync with natural.
With nature.
Yeah. I remember waking up and feeling just a peace. And I didn't understand why. Because I knew he was thinking about dropping, and I knew I was going to be alone. And I remember thinking, like, God, you protected me in Iraq. Like, I know you're real. Like,
You're talking to a God. You're talking to God
that I had
you're not
no
even
relationship.
sure of.
Right.
You're just talking.
Right. There's so many instances where I could have been dead. I could have been, whatever. A bullet hit the gunner's glass in the turret I was in. I had, how do you call them?
Rosary.
Rosary. I had it hanging in my turret,
Mm-hmm.
and I would look at it every patrol, like, just protect me.
Wow.
Wherever you are, protect me. And the bullet hit right where that rosary was hanging. I remember because every patrol after I saw the little dot from the bullet.
Where it hit.
And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about like all of the miles I had just walked. Is like, God, you protect me in Iraq. Protect me now. I know you're real. I know you're there. I don't know who you are.
The rosary took the bullet.
No, the glass. It's like a bulletproof glass in the gunner's turret.
Yes.
So the rosary was hanging. I think I had it hanging from a bolt or something. and it was just hanging and just like kind of just swinging up against the glass. And so I remember hearing like a pop, and then I heard something hit the glass, bing, and they're like, "Oh, it's just rock." I was like, "No, this is a bullet. This is a bullet hole. This is literal bullet point, right? But right where the crucifix was."
Wow.
And that shook me.
If that wasn't a sign,
Yeah, for sure.
that
For sure.
he was there with you.
For sure. So now I find myself years later on this trail, and I know I'm getting ready to be alone. Like, please protect me. Because I was walking through towns that, like, I'll probably be the darkest color in that town.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and so in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I could be killed, strung up in a tree somewhere, know where I am.
Yeah, you're talking like some racism stuff.
Sure.
I'm thinking gator, like you're going to be human nuggets for gators.
No, I wasn't afraid of the animals or any of the predators, but
more afraid of humans than the animals. Wow.
Humans. So I said, God, if you protect me and you give me the strength and the protection to make it to the end, I'm going to do better. I'm going to find you where you are. You found me where I am. I'm going to find you where you are.
Yeah.
I remember calling in one of the towns. I was called my wife now, Angela, and I said, she wasn't into church. I said, look, when I get done with this, I have something to do. I have to go to church. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, it's something I have to do. You don't have to do it with me. I understand. But I made a promise. Like, I have to carry this out. And I'm a man pretty much in my word. She's like, okay. I just remember finishing the thing. The whole organization, the leadership met me in the town in Alabama. My parents drove up there. Angela drove up there.
Wow.
It was like a welcome home ceremony that I didn't get when I came home from Iraq.
Wow.
I remember
they're celebrating you.
Yeah. So there's video of me walking. So I go from the Everglades, which is swamp, to prairie, to forest. Every ecosystem Florida has to offer, I walk through it.
Yeah.
National forests, everything. And the end part of this trail is beach towns.
Oh, wow.
So I cross over a highway, walk onto essentially like their intercoastal, and I hit the beaches, and the rest of the trail is along the beach. Some of the most beautiful beaches I've seen in Florida. Favorite being Opal, where I feel like God sent a guardian angel. He was a drill sergeant a drill instructor, from the Marine Corps. His name is Bob. And
what a name.
I had ran out of food, ran out of water. I'm almost at the end. I hit this beach. I'm in this little beach park. I see this guy just taking pictures or whatever. I approach him. I'm like, God, please just let him be like a decent human being. I told him what I was doing. He's like, where's your food? He's like, come with me. They actually took me in, him and his wife, took me home, let me stay a couple days, fed me, got me back on my feet. I was coordinating with the leadership. I'm like, hey, I'm literally miles away from the end point. We're still on track. I'm just staying with this retired drill instructor from the Marines. He took me in.
Bro, nobody. What? Who does that?
I had never met this man in my life. Heart of gold.
Wow.
Yeah, he took me to Pensacola.
Do you think it's because you were a veteran and he understands?
Definitely, absolutely. He asked about the organization. I believe the first night I slept in their house, I think he did his homework.
Of course.
And saw that it was.
I would have.
My picture's there.
Your picture?
My picture's on the website. The story. So
and that is warriorexpeditions.org.
Yeah.
Warriorexpeditions.org.
Yeah. It's got a picture of me in my. I'm in Iraq. I'm in the desert.
Yeah.
With my gun. Just somebody snapped a picture, and that's the picture they put up.
Yeah.
But I think at that moment he knew it was real, and he was going to do everything to protect me.
Yes.
And I still have comms with them today.
Yeah.
Like, he knows my kids.
Wow.
So I believe God sent him in my path to take care of me, just to let him know, like, hey, here's a person to take care of you. You have to make good still.
Yes.
Get to the end. Hooting and hollering, I finished. It was a feat.
How did you feel at the very end after going through because this sounds like Lord of the Rings. Like you're about to drop the ring off into
Yeah.
Middle Earth and
So there's a little fort there. They actually in the past they kept I believe it was like Geronimo there in like a prison.
Okay.
I remember walking up these stairs. It was like a spiral like stone staircase, and on the top there was a little grassy knoll with an American flag. I got all the way to the top and seen the American flag, and I just broke down crying.
Wow.
Because my God that I was gonna make a relationship with got me to the end.
Wow.
Here's a picture of me staring up at this flag, and like I felt happier than when I graduated boot camp. I had done something I thought literally there was no chance in heck I was gonna finish.
Wow.
I remember that drive home, just sitting in the passenger seat, reflecting on everything I'd just been through. It was a quiet ride. My wife, now Angela, just drove and let me process. And we got home. I think it was a Friday. The Saturday, I remembered my pact with God. So I got on my computer. She had a house in Lake Mary. I was still living in Deltona with my parents in their garage. And I get on her computer and I look up churches in Lake Mary because I was staying at her house for the weekend. And it said Lake Mary Church, 0.7 miles.
I just walked across the state of Florida,
Right.
which is like one of the biggest in the United States.
I had no car, and I'm like, I just walked 1,300 miles. Like, I'll walk there. I'll be sweaty, but I'm gonna walk.
Yeah.
I said, if you don't want to go, understand. I don't need your vehicle. I'll walk. I remember showing up at Lake Mary Church, sitting in the service in the 600 building, and in the old sanctuary, it was like half the room it is now. And I remember everybody went away. And it was just me and Pastor Shaddy. But God was speaking through Pastor Shaddy.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what he was preaching about. But I remember the altar call. And I raised my hand and I went up to the front because he used to have you come up to the front so he could pray for you. I gave my life to Christ that day. And immediately they found out I was a veteran. And they started introducing me to veterans in the church. It was like a whole community. I was like, I'd never been to a church that showed love like that and that had that many veterans.
Yeah.
Tony Humphreys, Jesus Palma, Brendan Johnson, like
Yes.
powerful men.
Yeah, these guys are leaders in the church.
And
Wow.
they walked with me through some of my darkest times because I'm still trying to, I was still trying to figure myself out.
You were still transitioning out of the military into the civilian world and finding your place and all of that.
Yeah.
And now you are one of the most well-known men at that church.
Yeah.
If you say Rick Cardona, they know who you are. Yeah. You're in the security team.
Yep.
You're in every men's event that I've ever seen.
I serve on the safety team. I serve on the ministry team, which after the service is done, if you need prayer, you come up to the front.
Yes.
I or somebody will pray over you. I serve on the refresh team, so I refresh the bathrooms.
Yes.
Just because, like, safety, you have power. Ministry, there's power from God. But it takes a special heart to be able to humble yourself and clean up after people. In some
scrub a toilet, mop a floor.
Yeah. So
man.
And the Army definitely taught me how to scrub a toilet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A toothbrush. If they told me to shine that thing would be spotless for sure.
My goodness, Rick, I must say that you, my friend, is someone that I met at the church with a heart of gold, man.
Thank you.
I truly admire you and your story. The community that you have with the men at the church, the leadership that you show at Foundations, which is a I hate to call it a course, but it is essentially a deep dive into spirituality
Yes.
and building a relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
Over a 12 or 14 week period.
I think it's 14. Yeah.
Yeah, 14-week period. You're a strong leader there.
I do life groups too.
Yes, you host life groups.
Yeah.
You're an amazing husband and father. You just got into the marriage ministry, Art of Marriage. You just became,
Yeah.
you volunteered to be one of the leaders for that.
Yeah, that was God. My wife was getting ready to leave me.
Wow.
And I had to make some changes. And sitting in your chair, you extended that olive branch to me for the Art of
Which is
Marriage.
right behind you, by the way.
Yeah. I remember just telling her, hey, I got this thing I want to try and, see if we can make things right. And hopefully, things will change and he won't leave me because I don't want to lose her. God definitely sent her in my life for a reason.
She was there for your trail.
She was there for my trail.
Yeah, she was your Sam to your Frodo.
Yeah. Other than God, she's a definite rock in my life.
And now look at you guys.
Yeah. So now we're gonna help lead other couples potentially rebuild that relationship in their marriage.
Yes.
Which is a blessing. I mean, I'm not perfect. I put my pants on just like everybody else, one leg at a time.
Yeah.
I don't glow in the dark.
Right. I do. If I was to lift up these legs and you see how shiny they are, boy, I'm white.
I don't hover like
I understand.
I'm imperfect, right? We're born slaves to sin, but Jesus came and died on the cross for that.
Amen.
Paid it in full. And at this point in my life, I just try and find myself doing better than who I was.
Yes. That's the goal.
Trying to be the man of God that he called me to be, called all of us to be. By leading veterans and first responders and life group to men's life group, couples with my wife. I just trying to get to that point where when I get to heaven, he tells me, like, good job, servant. Like,
good job, my faithful servant. That's so good that you said that. So many people have this wrong misconception of Christianity, and it's because of Christians, unfortunately.
Sure.
But the reality is that it's you against you, right? You're just trying to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be.
Absolutely.
Right? It doesn't happen overnight. No. You're not this super saint once you accept Jesus and you have faith in him. It's not something that happens overnight.
Yeah.
It is a long process of recognizing factors in your life that need changing.
Yeah.
And then looking for those changes in the Word.
Yes.
Because the Word is a manual.
Yeah.
And that's why I think people run from Christianity and run from Christ, because nobody likes to be told what to do.
And they can't handle that truth.
The truth is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Especially if you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that's where self-reflection and acceptance of, okay, I don't know everything. There's always room for growth.
Sure.
Because what I realize is the problem with people, me included, is to tell somebody something, I know that. Everybody knows everything, right? Mm-hmm. And what's the problem with someone that knows everything is that they cannot learn anything new.
Right.
If you know it all, then there's no room for growth.
No.
When you realize that you don't know anything, and there's always room for improvements, that's when you recognize that you potentially could be wrong.
Absolutely.
And once you accept that, it's easier to make changes in your life.
Small transformations. Like somebody told me, you didn't get the way you are overnight. You're not going to get better overnight.
Right.
It's going to take time. It's going to take prayer. It's going to take that working on that relationship with God.
Yes.
I think we put God in a box as humans. And we think, he's only capable to deal with this much.
Yes.
So let me just give him this much and the rest.
When he's in everything.
Everything.
You just got to invite him into that thing. He knows what you need.
Yeah.
You just got to invite him into it. Yeah. Right?
So he's always been there. He'll always be there. I find myself walking side by side with him. I don't have him walk behind me anymore.
Yeah. That means that, for those that don't understand what that means, is you live by the word.
Yeah.
You read the word, you accept the word, you live by the word.
Yeah. And I'm
that's
not like
putting him.
I'm not perfect, so I
Right.
get it wrong. I often get it
We
wrong.
always do.
Right.
What does Paul say? I do not do the things that I want to do, but the things that I hate to do is the very thing that I do.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
There's a brotherhood in the body of church, the body of Christ, that I had been looking for a long time since the military.
That love that you were looking for in those Latin kings.
Yeah. In the
You
past,
found it in the royal priesthood.
That's right. But God puts you in the place of your life, and He'll build the community that you need. Because when you're going through hard times, He's giving you growth in that time to grow from. Because there's another season coming that He needs you strong for. So, I mean, He's still building my community. I've got my brothers in Christ. Now I have the F3 Nation that stands side by side with me.
I wanted to talk about that real quick, F3 Nation, because I just started joining you.
Absolutely.
Between you and my friend John Casanova.
Absolutely, full house.
I kept getting invited to F3, and I go to the gym 4 to 6 days a week. So I was like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that. Man, but it's so amazing when you give it a try, and it's amazing when you receive something that you didn't think you needed, but you realize that you actually did need it.
Sure, absolutely.
Right? So F3 stands for
what's it? Faith, fitness, and fellowship.
Faith, fitness, and fellowship.
Yeah.
And they're nationwide, right? You can look them up at f3nation.com.
Yeah.
That's the official national website.
Right.
And what these gentlemen do, they meet up with, what they call it? At the
gloom.
At the gloom, which is right before the sun rises.
Yeah.
And they meet up and they do exercises and fellowship. They work out together, kind of like boot camp, but modified to your level.
Yeah.
But the most important part is that it's faith, it's fitness, and it's fellowship.
Right. And it's free for all men. I think, people think, oh, I'm going to pay all this money to go to a gym and work out.
This is free.
But this is free. It's with like-minded individuals. It gives you that brotherhood if you're looking for it that you need. We have brothers now going to Lake Mary Church.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. They just started joining us at church.
Yeah. A lot of them have signed up for the men's conference coming up at Lake Mary Church. I praise God, like, Lord, however I know I'm here for a reason. Mm-hmm. If it's to lead these men to you so that they can develop their own, walk with you, praise you.
Yes.
Send me.
That's good.
And so, I was on this health journey. It was either get healthy or you're not going to be around much longer.
Good for you for opening your eyes to that.
Yeah, absolutely. The truth is it's easier said than done.
Oh, right? 100%. I know it, my friend. I lost 87 pounds in the course of 2 years.
Well, I'm definitely on a journey with the help of my friend. She's a great physician, Megan Burgess at Continuum in Lake Mary. She's got me. She's looking after me. But I needed something to change my lifestyle also.
Yes.
And that's what got me. It was the day at the beach, the family beach day, when Full House sat next to me. And he just started pouring into me everything I needed to hear about brotherhood, about the fellowship, faith, and the fitness. And he challenged me. And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't done that kind of stuff since basic training. This ain't happening.
Right.
But, I set my alarm, and that morning I got up, I went, and I've literally drank the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
It was the brotherhood I needed.
Makes you want to throw up at first, but then it sits well in your stomach afterwards. Oh, man, that is such a good story and so necessary, man.
Absolutely.
It's so necessary.
Yeah.
I understood. I was humbled by it. Right.
Yeah.
I figured I go to the gym, I work out.
Right.
I lost 87 pounds. I understood the importance of taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the healing process from PTSD.
Sure.
Is you don't ever forget what you've done. You'll never forget what you've seen. But when you start working on other things, it helps cope
Yeah.
with the trauma.
Absolutely.
You get this gratification from seeing results.
Yeah.
Whether working on yourself or working with someone else, you get this gratification that is filling.
Yes.
You put Christ at the center of your life, which redirects your footsteps and your perspective,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And helps you overcome that stuff where you don't look at it as there's a big difference between dwelling in the past and living in it,
Right.
and viewing in the past to know what kind of changes and adjustments you need to make so you have a brighter future,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference. And with PTSD is we dwell in the past.
Sure.
We live in the past.
And as men, we're fixers, right? We're fixers for everything but ourselves, right?
So interesting.
Yeah. So like we could fix everybody else's problems, but when it comes to us and dealing with our PTSD,
All you gotta do is apply it.
right? You have to put it to yourself,
Yes.
and it works as long as God's in the center.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Man, I just want to thank you once again, man, for joining us in Barbaric Culture Presents Who's in the Chair. My friend Rick Cardona with an amazing testimony. If you are a veteran suffering with PTSD and you will like help, again, the website is warriorexpeditions.org.
Yes.
They will help you with putting you on some kind of hike, bike, or paddle.
Yeah.
The founder is Sean Gobin.
Yep.
He was a captain in the Marine Corps, and that will be your point of contact. I'm sure there's something through the website where you submit.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking for faith, fellowship, and fitness for free in your community, look up f3nation.com. Look up your region, and you'll find yourself with a liaison from that region, and they'll sign you right up.
Just show up, and they'll, with open arms.
What you don't want to do is live in isolation.
Yeah. God calls us to community, and He calls us to do life with others, to build His kingdom. We're not castle builders; we're kingdom builders, and you can't do that on your own. So reach out. Reach
Amen. Amen. Mr. Cardona, thank you for your time, sir.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure to have you here on the show.
I appreciate it.
And I will add a link to a news report that was done similar to mine by Marley Capper on this gentleman right here. I will add a link in the description so you guys can go ahead and watch that story and be inspired by this man right here, just like I am. Till next time, like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section, and we'll see you on the next episode.